Hi there, and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We've been tasked here in Mirlevest, the Sanctum, to end a quarrel, an anger, to restore peace between the Rhyma and Andronas. Because we've learned about the tides a lot. Let's see if we can do this. By the looks, Rhyma and Andronas turn your way. You've interrupted a promising tangent of their apparently infinite argument. Ardiris asked me to mediate your dispute. Really, they react exactly like sullen children. Andronas folds his arms and turns away from you. Rhyma flushes and stares at her feet. All right, she mutters at last. Tell us what you need to know. First, what exactly are you arguing about? The two watch each other warily for a moment, as if speaking first will somehow forfeit the argument. We mostly disagree, Andronas says at last, on the amount of respect due our sire. He arches a cold eyebrow at Rhyma. A silent question. She gives a reluctant nod. So, Andronas, tell me what's troubling you. I just don't understand her, he says, flinging his hand in Rhyma's direction. The changing god abandoned us at birth, then fed us lie after lie when he chose to speak with us at all. She claims he has a master plan. I see a man who serves himself first and always. He doesn't care if we die. Even I care more if Rhyma dies than our sire does. Scanthal's siblings, sharing that bastard's consciousness doesn't make us related. Andronas barks a bitter laugh. Did you know that he sparked the whole war from my body? He got the first angry at me, then ditched this shell, leaving me to deal with the consequences. Good thing the first knows the difference between the face and the mind. He rubs his eyes, but Rhyma, look, I know how she feels. The sorrow is hunting all of us. It's nice to think that the changing god has a plan to protect us. It is just not true, I know. He glares at Rhyma, then looks back at you. Damn it, he says, turning away. After a moment you see why. There are tears in his eyes. None of us want to kill each other. You see that, right? His eyes harden. But if I have to choose between someone brave enough to stand against our father and her, I drop her and mourn later. Summarize the argument for me again, Andronas. The changing god has turned us on each other, and for what? To draw the sorrow's eye away from him for fun? He growls under his breath. Rhyma wants to believe his intentions are noble, but she's fooling herself. Accusations. Let's hear your side, Rhyma. It's simple, sister. The endless battle is a test, and Andronas' side has been failing it for centuries. Our creator managed to annoy the first enough that she stormed off in a huff. He even did it in Andronas' body. You'd think that this big oaf, of all people, would understand what our sire was thinking. She shakes her head, laughing. The fact of the matter is our father created this sanctuary for us, to protect us from the sorrow, but hiding is the strategy. Eventually we'll have to take the battle to it. The gleam in her eyes is a banked fire, and when that time comes, our father wants an army who will follow his orders without question. He allowed the first to spread her doubts, and the traitors among us have flocked to her side. She tosses Andronas a scornful look. Even so, I'm sure it hurt our father to discover that so many of his children mistrusted him, she says, lowering her eyes. Imagine how that feels, knowing that you would have to kill some of your children to save the rest. And that's it, she says with an elegant shrug. Simple, like I said, Andronas simply can't accept that his grand rebellion is all part of our father's plan, can't accept that we owe our existence and ongoing survival to him. She sneers at Andronas. If you hate this sanctuary so much, why not leave? Scanthal's, and he wants to kill each other over it. Better to spend our lives in the war itself. Summarize the argument again, Rima, please? I think our father made a greater sacrifice than we know. Divided, we don't stand a chance against the sorrow. He led the first rebel so that we could deal with the traitors among us before that final battle. And before I make any decision, what sort of solution would satisfy you both? Neither of them speak for a moment. Their faces are identical sculptures of surprise. I don't know, he says, glancing at Rima. Nothing you could say would make us take each other's side. And with apologies to our dearies, I don't want to get along with Rima. I've hated her for too long. No offense. Yeah, no offense. That's what you... When you always... that's always when you say something that is offensive. Rima Syro. Her lip quirks. Honesty doesn't offend me. She looks over at you, and we need a decision. You can't please both of us. Our points of view aren't ever going to line up. Alright, let's resolve the dispute then. Andronis and Rima go still and stoic, showing no sign of the emotion they displayed before. In this moment they look very much alike, like family. So what are we gonna do here? This is going to be important, probably for the rest of the story, and for our feeling also, and how we are seen by our dearies. So you're endangering everyone. Both of you must leave Miel-Avest until this is settled. Would be a solution. But it would be better if they would stay. I don't think we want to take a side. We're a Nano, not someone with convictions or... We are family after all. I mean, this would be something. Do we really want to break the truce to kill each other over a point of view? That is really the question. But would they kill each other? We don't know. That is the right question to ask. Do you really want to break the truce to kill each other over a point of view? Andronis opens his mouth, shuts it thoughtfully. Finally he speaks. You are right. We're safe here, but the sorrow is circling, if the rumors are true. I don't want to do its work. All right, Rima says, letting out a ragged breath. Just... let's talk about something else, Andronis. Can we do that? For now, gladly. The two cast-offs stand together, murmuring to each other. Both nod at you. Nice to see you two getting along. Your older siblings roll their eyes in unison. Yeah, that's how we did it. So your argument is based on the endless battle, isn't it? Is that why the battle's still going on?
I'll remember that.
Yes, Andronis says. He huffs and casts a dark look at Rima. Whenever our father has the chance, he spends our lives like a loose handful of shins. We keep fighting to stop him. He grins mercilessly, to tear him down.
Making a note.
You idiot, Rima says, but without real rancor. Our father never makes a move without knowing he's going to win. We're stronger than you, and we have the right on our side. You're going to lose this war down to the last soldier. Then you'll see that I'm right. Still getting along? Are you warily? Then continue their murmured discussion. I'm really not convinced, but we'll tell our dearies anyways. Have you helped Rima and Andronis come to a conclusion yet? Well, I managed to persuade them to their senses. They've agreed to a temporary peace. She claps her hands softly. Well done. Well done indeed. To be free to choose is a part of life in Mirla West. We must our own choices, just as we own our responsibilities for the outcomes of those choices.
Making a note.
Before I can allow you to alter the course of a brother's life, I would hear your opinion on something which touches the life of all our kind. You have no doubt heard of the endless battle, but what do you know about it? Why do they fight? And who is right? She bows her head slightly. If perchance you have heard only a little about the conflict, you may wish to speak to our brethren before answering. Yes, I'd like to learn more first. And farewell. So, should we talk to the locals again? Maybe Melmoth has something to say. Tides, the Dendrau her, or the other cast-offs? Not really. Lady Anshi. Really nothing much.
In this world, then.
Let's try more people. This guy. Or girl. This slim cast-off looks to be in his late teens. He carries an odd-looking device that resembles a scorched circle. And it's not hard to draw the connection between it and the red mark of a recent injury that travels along his forehead and under his hair. The man seems confused, hesitant, as if he has so many questions that he isn't sure which to ask first. I want to ask, I'm not sure. He gives a shaky smile. I want to ask you a lot. We all do. About her? No? Something she did? Maybe? Yes? What questions do you have for me? About her? No. Something she did? Maybe? Yes. Well, you forced your way through our portal, he says. It kept us safe from the sorrow. Now it's open. He swallows, eyeing you reproachfully. Carefully, you feel a stirring of forces around you. You were reckless, he blurts, avoiding your eyes. You've exposed us, maybe killed us. I don't want to die. He is on the verge of tears. You need to tell me how bad it is, and I need the truth, he says, raising his eyes again. Have you seen it? Have you seen the sorrow? Yeah. I knew it, he says, going pale. We're running out of time. Now listen, he says, blinking hard. This is even more important. Have you abused the tides to change things? To influence people? Very little. He groans. It doesn't matter. It will find you. Every use of our power draws it like a fire in the sky. You should leave, he says. There's no heat in his words. Maybe it will follow you and leave us alone. His trembling hand seeks the red wound at his hairline. What did you mean when you said we? He blinks hard at your question, twisting the blackened circlet through his hand. I once fought in the endless battle, found this in a giant clay hand, trapped in a half-shattered block of stone. I took it. He shakes his head as if denying the memory itself. Put it on. The circlet spins through his hands, faster and faster. I saw darkness. Knew I was inside the owner of that hand, a clay automaton, imprisoned. Knew I could control it. He shivers. I did. Broke it free from the stone. Used it in service of our sire for many years. Thought of it as my armor. He blinks hard again, like a man trying to dislodge a thought with eyelids alone. Then a war construct collapsed on the automaton, crushed it, and the crown burned. I remember screaming, then 100 voices in my head, arguing with each other, shouting, fighting. The automaton wasn't armor, it was a courier. A container for goods, for gods. A container for gods. Can you get the Evangelion vibes. Did you say gods? Rin says. Yes, my armor wasn't a tool. It was a locked chest with a hole inside. A deep hole full of terrible gods. He shuts his mouth and says no more on the subject. I wish I could help. He nods glumly, then blinks again. What was the endless battle like? The Kshai shudders. We killed. We were killed. The dead crept into my mind. They told me to kill more, and I did, because that's what we do. It's in our nature, you know. We're worse than animals, castors, humans. Whether created or evolved, we are all inclined to conflict. Did you want to ask me more questions? No, I don't. He avoids your eyes. You should go. Go, before it comes for all of us. Farewell and thank you, Alkashai, and we will investigate further in the next episode. Thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel, signing out.